Ladies and gentlemen, it's your mate Narlin here, and I am joined by a very special guest today. It is a video I've been promising to do for some time, so stick around because this one is a really, really good video, and particularly if you're interested in healing, it is my pleasure to introduce to you. It comes up on your screen as Caramello Koala, but he is affectionately known as Bud. Bud, welcome to this video. Welcome to my page, and thank you very much for your support, mate.
Thank you, Narlin. I just want to say before we get onto this video, thank you for having me. It has been a great honor to be here. Um, it has been a big dream of mine to come and join you on your show. And today is the day, so thank you for having me and thank you for this opportunity, mate.
Oh, mate, it is a pleasure. We play together almost every night playing this game. So, um, Bud watches most of my videos, if not all of them, and I really appreciate your support, mate. So, it's great to have you here. Today, we're going to be talking about healing and healing ships because you are our master healer. So, um, you're going to laugh at this, but without further ado,
I
this is a little,
do, yes.
I do. This is a little joke that me and Bud have got. Without further ado, we're going to jump into a mission so you guys can see how myself and Bud operate together. So I'm just going to jump straight in here. Hopefully, we can just jump into a boss fight straight away. Um, Upwelly, Upwelling, here we go. So we're going to jump into that, and we're going to solo this together. So what generally happens, what we do is every night pretty much, I run around in my tank, and Bud runs around in his bark, and we just go and do boss fights and convoys and Wolvenhole and all sorts of stuff together. So, Bud, tell us a little bit about you're a healer. What's your philosophy around healing, and why do you like doing it?
Oh, Narlan, good question, mate. I like healing. It's just me. Healing is one of the backbones to any type of game that you play. Um, Without a healer, you're not more than likely gonna win the match. Um, to me, I feel great being able to help people accomplish their missions without having them worry about losing their resources to be able to save their medkits for times when they don't have a healer around. I just see it pointless when you got someone like a healer stuck up the rear of your ship. Why would you want to use all your resources, right?
Well, that's right, and we're just watching this right now. I've sort of buttoned off attacking Welling just so we can sort of see Bud. He's sort of following me around, following me from behind, and he's firing at my sails. Now this isn't the first take of this video we've tried. We have had a little bit of a disconnection issue, but um, Bud was explaining in that last video just why he goes for the sails of the friendly ships. Why is that, Bud? What's the theory there?
So to me, um, if you're sitting still, the hull is what I'll go for. As you just seen, I went for your hull while you was still. Getting your hull is probably one of the most efficient shots for me to get. But for times where are running around and I can't see you, it is best for me to go for your sails. It's probably one of the biggest and open part of your ship at the time. And unfortunately, my healing weapons that I have on here don't have the biggest variety of range for me to be able to sit afar from you and be able to shoot.
Yeah, and as we see, I'm getting a little bit hit here, and the angle wasn't right for you to heal me. So um, I've obviously sped up a bit and opened my sails up just so you've got that range, and you can see just one of your volleys there does a hell of a lot of repair to my ship. So we are going to talk a little bit more in detail about what you're running on your ship, but you are a pure healer, so you don't have any DPS at all on your ship. So this is you've observed this, and we've talked about this in game quite a bit. We do see other barks around. What do you notice about other barks that you see in the game?
Um, all I see about other barks is they majority of their guns on their ship is to be able to stick up for themselves and fend themselves in sticky situations when it comes like this. To me, what I see is that they don't have a big knight in shining armor to look after them as such as Narlin himself. But every time I see another bark, I probably see, say, one in the 10 barks I see in the time that we play. Only, yes, one of them would be another healer like myself, but then he would only have, again, a limited amount of healing on his ship, unlike my ship, where I've got you covered on nearly any type of angle. And even if you sit still, I can just put myself out, a little boy out. I can show your followers. I
Yep.
can put two boys out, and I've made them enough that if they don't get hit, they're pretty powerful at being able to get you back up to full health also.
As you said that, they got hit by by the ranged weapon from the boss here. So, but as the viewers would have seen there, I did scroll out. You could see the two boys that he fired, one either side of me, and that just basically keeps me healed if I'm in a stationary position. So that is quite handy, particularly if we're doing a mega fort. Quite often, me and Bud have done Euston quite a lot of times, but even on Wolvenhole, I'll sit still for a lot of that and just fire at the fort, and Bud will have me covered with those boys. So, as you can see, Bud's walking around. I've stopped firing here just so we can watch Bud, and he's basically doing circles around me and just firing healing rounds into me. So that's pretty much how you operate, isn't it? Like besides the old ram that you do there, that's your only version of DPS is having a bit of a ram at the enemy ship. But other
Yes, mate. Unfortunately, the only bit of weaponry I have is my figurehead. Unfortunately.
yeah, but you are a pure healer, and what Bud was saying before is that quite often we see barks in the game who are partial healers, so they can do a little bit of healing support to your capital ships like our frigates, but they're not pure healers. Whereas Bud, he runs only healing guns on his ship, so he has got no DPS, which makes him very, very valuable to myself because you can see here I am not worried at all about my health. I'm just trusting Bud to do his job there, which he's doing fantastically. And my job is effectively to take out the boss ship. So, you'll see me. I'm sitting still here, which is not something I commonly do for a ship fight. But the reason I've got the ability to do this is because Bud's here, just literally just firing healing rounds into me. So just just on that, we've talked. I think things have changed a lot since the frigate has come along as well. Like we had a lot more barks in circulation prior to the season. So have you noticed that as well, Bud?
Yes, the ever since the frigate has come out, the population of the barks have dropped off. It's like almost a rare sighting to see a bark come up, but they have been, I must say, with the times I go and play by myself and heal everyone else in the game. Um, the populations of barks have been coming back up, but they are just, like you said before, just partial healers.
Yeah, and that's something like it would be great to see more OP healers like yourself in the game. But I think that comes down to having a crew to kick around with. We're just a small two-man crew, me and Bud. We do have the occasional person join us, but for the most part, it's just me and him, and we know each other's gameplay and game style, so we're able to pull this off where it's great having a full healer with me at all times. Because it just means that I never really have to worry about dying. I still die occasionally, but it doesn't happen that often. But we we've obviously seen the frigate this season come out. It's the first big ship. The Barque is a medium ship, one of the last medium ships to come out in previous seasons. But what are you sort of hopeful that there will be more? There will be a large healing ship coming out soon.
Oh yes, I do wish there was a large healing ship. I do like the big ships, don't get me wrong. The frigate is a beautiful ship. I would like for them to bring out a another big ship just so that I can feel big again. But even if they don't bring out a big ship, just another bigger ship just so that I can do a lot more damage in ramming wise.
Yeah, it does.
Otherwise,
It does
I'm
make a
not
big
really
difference.
fussed.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great when you're doing megaforts and things like that. With group events, when you're doing group events, that's probably not so much of a major for you. But um, yeah, I guess unfortunately, if you're wanting to sail around by yourself, you are having to change to a DPS. Um, Now I know that you've been running. We've named a ship Pride Week because it's a very flamboyant ship. But your frigate, that's your preferred DPS at the moment, is it?
Yes, the frigate is my preferred DPS. I like it. If it's not big, it's not doing it right, mate.
That's
That's what
right.
I say.
That's right. But yeah, I think the Bark itself is. I mean, you're running a beautiful ship. We're once we're finished here with Opwelling, we're actually going to head back to port, and we're gonna do a Bark build. So guys, stick around because we've just taken out this boss. You can see those healing boys that of course I'm sailing away from them, which doesn't help. But you can see there that the healing boys that Buds dropped there, those are really really powerful, and you can see he's still firing rounds into me, even though his health himself is not that great. He still fires rounds into me as we are sailing away. So we're gonna go find somewhere to dock. Probably over there. That's probably going to be the easiest spot, mate, to the east. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to port and we're going to pull out my bark, which I haven't used for a very, very long time, but I have leveled it to level 7. And Bud's basically going to talk us through the bark build. Um, so, speaking of which, what is your best weapon for healing on your ship, and why is it the best?
I would have to say my two broadside weapons and my little Grace 3 mortars. Um, for the dual mortars on Little Grace for the repairs on a bark, you only have the one shot from where you shoot the Little Grace. So what you would do is before this season ends, you would want to head to Blackwater in either Telok Penjara or over there in St. Anne, and you want to grab a major piece of furniture off of him. I'm not sure of the name of it, but it has a lot of boys on it. And for what that does, it even, I'm pretty sure it works for you DPS guys. What it does is for the ones that have only a single mortar, it will add an extra shot onto it. So as you can see here, I have you have to zoom in on your little periscope when you can, Narlin,
Yep,
and have a look down on the middle of my ship there. I have only one mortar.
yep, we spotted that on the scope there. So
So
if you're looking
I,
there, you can see is one mortar.
I've just shot off two mortars. And basically with this mortar on my screen, I can see that it does 1,536 healing per buoy.
So that's quite significant. And you can see the two boys that are sitting around me there. In an emergency healing situation, those are quite handy. So now, generally speaking, Bud would just fire cannons into me. So you'll see him do that, and you would have seen him do that during that fight that we just had. But that is kind of more of a stationary. The boys are more of a stationary healing option, aren't they? For when I'm
Yes,
doing
mate.
megaforts, yeah.
Yes. They work more effectively once you're obviously sitting still. They don't have a special ability where they can hook onto the back of your ship, which I wish they did.
There you go. That's what you need is one of those hooks that you use for boarding. Just one of those for healers. That'd be the way to go.
Yes, mate, that would be amazing.
So look, obviously the healer role is really important, and it is something that we hope that we get a large ship sometime. And we know that the Corvette is the next large ship coming, and we will be covering the Corvette in due course. But we do hope that there is a large healer coming. Now, I'm going to switch over to my bark now, and we're going to have a wee look at this. I have done a little bit of prep on this, so it's not too clunky for you guys watching at home. But as we go on to my bark here, now one of the biggest key things and why people are using the bark as opposed to the brig, and I'll throw this over to Bud because he's the expert here. Why is the bark a better healer than the brig?
Uh, it's easy for me. It could be for anyone else, but the brig itself. Um, if I'm sitting stationary next to you, let's just say we're going through a stormy weather. We're coming out of it. You hit a big wave and the frig gets some air. And once you're coming down, you're going to be colliding against the waves, and your hull's going to take a bit of an impact. So instead of me having to not waste my ammo as per se, but I can conserve my ammo, I can just sit next to you in my bark, and my bark heals you. It's one of the specialized feature with the bark that it has hull restoring health for any healer, not any healer, any ship that comes into a radius of 100 meters, I think it is.
Yeah, I've got it up on screen here at the moment. So we're just having a look at the perks here for the bark. So revitalized is the perk, restores severe damage by 0.4% and hull health by 0.4% per second, as well as for nearby friendly ships, restores 15% of crew stamina, 10% of severe damage, and 60% more of hull health on a friendly ship while using a repair weapon. Increases hull health restored by repair weapons by 5% per repair weapon equipped. So that is quite wordy, but in effect, like in a nutshell, what it's saying, isn't it, Bud, is that if you're next to another ship that needs healing, you're going to be healing that ship automatically just by being in close proximity.
Yes, that's right, mate.
Awesome, awesome. So that that is a feature that's unique to the Bark. And what is the other ship that's unique to I believe it's the cutter, isn't it?
I believe so. Let me just have a quick look.
Yeah, Unburden. It's a slightly different perk, but it effectively does the same thing by restoring friendly targets. Now, if we go and have a look at the brig is a support ship. It is a healer, but it doesn't have that same perk, which basically means now the brig actually came out after the bark, um, and no one really uses the brig. And I think the main reason for that is because the bark has that perk. Would that be fair to say, Bud?
Yeah, yeah, mate. That's pretty well. That's pretty much the only reason why I sit in the bark is the the difference between the specializations of what each of the healing ships have, and for me, I didn't see the cutter and the brig um, do enough healing that I would like for my team. And to me, the Bark is just the OP healing ship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what we'll do is we're going to have a look now at the weapons. So we're going to head over to. Actually, we're going to head over to the blacksmith because Bud very kindly made me some repair cannons before, so we're just going to go ahead and ascend those. So just while I'm bringing this up on screen, I'm just at the blacksmith. I do have the white jades. Now, the white jades, where can you get the white jades from?
So you can get the white jades from. I always get her name wrong, so I have
Yanita.
a bad habit. Yes, I have a bad habit of making up names. So Yanita and Hamura.
That's the one. So if we go to Yanita, everyone should know where Yanita is, but we're just going to quickly run over to her. Oh, actually, we're at Homara. So if we talk to Homara, so I believe it's from a chest, is that right?
Yes, so if you scroll down, you will see two chests next to each other.
We're just looking at that now, mate. So the Legacy Cache 4. So this is you can get this from
That's
Homara and Yanita, as Bud was saying. And if we have a look at what's inside this, you've got possible loot being the Endless Requiem, which is that is the heat-seeking torpedo. I'm not going to go through all these guys. The White Jade. So the White Jade is the key weapon here. You might need to buy a few boxes to get enough White Jades, but these are the key healing weapons, and Bud's um, gonna explain to us why these are important and where he has them on his ship.
no worries. So to me, the white jades, they are really important. They're little tiny cannonade balls. So once they shoot one volley, so one shot of this weapon, and it will shoot off about three or four little tiny bullets off to the ship of whichever direction I'm shooting. And to me, I have them on the both sides of my ship because they will give me an extra four shots to the four on the front. I have white jades on the front of my ship, and I see that I only shoot off four shots compared to the eight shots I shoot off to my left and right.
Yeah, we're just having a look at this in the detailed breakdown at the White Jade at the moment while you're talking there, mate. So, designed with the ability, this is just the synopsis here, designed with the ability to repair multiple ships at once. It yeah, basically it is coveted by admirals. The repair is about 2,500 per shot. There's 7 gun ports with a range of 600 meters, so basically a standard Culveran, but with the healing ability. And the perks here, it's saying hits on allied ships will also repair the nearest allied ship for 75% of the original repair amount. Repair to greater restoration of hull health of a friendly ship. So these are, as you say, OP repair cannons, right?
Oh yeah, man, they are absolutely powerful. As um as you maybe see in a later on video, you could possibly die, and I'll have your health back up within 2 seconds. Like you won't even realize that you've just died. The only way you'll know that you died, Narlin, is you see a little tiny boat on the ship on the map, the little ship icon.
That's right, yeah, and that's the other benefit of having a healer around as well. As I'm just trying to find the healing cannons, repair long guns here, so I'm just equipping those to my front and back, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But the other benefit of having a healer is if you do die in combat, yeah, basically Bud can have you back to full health without any ongoing hull damage pretty much straight away as soon as you spawn back in. So that is another key feature of having a healer around. So I've just equipped the. I don't know if you're looking at these repair guns as well, Bud. If you have the details up on your screen, but I've just brought this up for the viewers. So this is another. It's a long gun. It's got cannonballs as its main ammunition. What else can you tell us about these long guns as we're scrolling through them, mate?
All right, so for the long guns, I would prefer to use the long guns for ships that are in a flight or fight situation, because I see some ships take off within a distance and they have a max distance of 1,000 meters and above. So for me, they are OP in in a sense of talk, where I can be able to get someone from about 800 meters their first 2-3 doses of health before I come in through the sides with my white jades and fill them back up again.
Wicked, yeah. So that'd be a classic situation where my health is super low. I'm having to basically get away from the battle temporarily, and you'd be behind me firing these long guns to, essentially, keep me on triage until we can do a full heal. Yeah.
Yes, mate. Yes, that's exactly how it is.
Perfect. Yep. So you're running those on the front and back, and you can see I've just equipped those to the front and back of my ship. And then in the middle, you're running the spring loader, the little Grace 3, which we saw these boy shells before, and you had that special perk where you could fire two of them. So yeah, so those are pretty key as well. What we're gonna do, so we're actually gonna do part two of this video, and in part two, I'm gonna go out as the healer and Bud's going to be the DPS, and we're going to just see if I am any good at being a healer, which I'll probably be. Bud, you might die.
It's okay, mate, because it's going to be the same with me, and it will probably show you the reason why I'm a healer.
Brilliant, mate. Well, look, guys, thanks for sticking around for this long. I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but hey, look, we've got Bud with me, and he's a special guest, and he knows all about healing. So, look, I hope you tune in for part two of Narlin and Bud do some healing. If you've stayed all the way to the end, please make sure you subscribing to the videos. Please give us a like. Please give us a comment. And we will see you on the next one. Bud, do you want to send us out, mate?
Hello, guys. Thank you for listening. Please like and follow. And if you would like to see us in part two, please hang with us. Thank you for watching us. We'll see you again soon.